So radio guy Mike Prince, it's Football Friday. You know what that means. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our social media handle on Twitter is at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our website, obnradio.com. And the 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we'll jump right into today's episode. A lot of football to discuss, but what about how the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Chicago Bears game ended on last night? Wow. You talk about a mental lapse. Now, for the record, I only know one legitimate Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. Only one. And that is my beloved brother. He fell in love with the Dreamsicle 1976 introduction of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he has been bought in from day one. He was livid on last night. Could not believe what all he witnessed from the quote-unquote GOATs. Now, for the record, I have always acknowledged Tom Brady because he's a six-time Super Bowl champion. You have to acknowledge that. But I've always been one to say that he was a benefactor of the Belichick system. And I could assure you this, that if Belichick were still partnered up with Tom Brady, there was no way that would happen. But it did, and it shall be what it shall be. My brother was hotter than fish grease. And could you imagine that Belichick was somewhere with a hoodie on, rubbing his hands with that wicked mad scientist laugh? Ha 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 ha. I told you, Tom, you're nothing without me. Just something to continue to watch. The game was somewhat sloppy at times. I thought I was watching a Raiders scrimmage game. There were so many penalties. But nonetheless, the Chicago Bears are flying high. Nick Foles has been sticking it to Tom Brady of late. Meanwhile, we've got a lot going on in our local and regional areas of high school and college athletics. Big matchup this week between the Royal Falcons and the Sealy Tigers as they'll open up district play. We'll hear from Coach Greg Anderson on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline later on in the show. The Waller Bulldogs will be hosting the Cleveland Indians for Homecoming 2020. And a big matchup tonight in Tomball, in the Battle of the Tomball Cup between the Rose Hill Eagles and the Tomball Warriors. You can listen to that game live with Clay Nicholson on the play-by-play right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. All you have to do is dial 857-777-0004 and jump right on in. Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics.
The voice of student athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Here are some results and matchups for Week 7 in the area of Waller County, Texas high school football matchups. Thursday night action found Anderson Shiro come a little bit short to Hemp Hill, losing by the score of 14-8. Tomball Cougars survives Port Neches Groves by the score of 30-27. Friday night matchups will have the Waller Bulldogs hosting the Cleveland Indians for Homecoming 2020. Hempstead will be on the road at Hallisville. The Royal Falcons will be at Sealy. Lufkin will be at Magnolia West. The Wharton Tigers will be at Belleville. Iola will be at Bartlett. College Station will be at Magnolia. Tomball Memorial will be at Deer Park. Burton will be at Somerville. And in our TAPS local coverage, the Battle of the Tomball Cup between Tomball Homeschool Warriors and the Rosehill Christian Eagles. 7 p.m. will be their kickoff time. You can actually hear that game live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by joining us at 857-777-0004. Those are some results and matchups for Week 7 in the Waller County, Texas surrounding area in the world of high school football. Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org. Welcome to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We have on the line today none other than the head football coach of the Royal Falcons, Coach Greg Anderson. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Well, we're doing quite well as well. Hopefully you and the family are staying safe out of COVID's way.
They're trying our best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You come off a big win. Now, I got confused, Coach, and help the air for me. When we looked up the resources that we had, it was saying that you played against Reagan. That was not your actual opponent, was it?
Actually, what it was high school that used to be called Austin Reagan. They're now called Northeast League College High School. Part of Austin ISD. Years and years, people knew them as Austin Reagan. They turned it into their early college campus at ISD. So they go by Austin Northeast Early College Preparatory now. So it's the same building, just has new name.
Well, I hadn't lost my mind then. Okay. Regardless if it was Austin or Reagan, the results were the same. A big win, and we, of course, were able to get the recap, which you're calling in on the message line. It's always good going into the next week with a victory underneath your belt. If you could, you said things were looking a lot better the way the Falcons were attacking the things right now. If you could give us a refresher on that and lead us up to the opponent this week of the Sealy Tigers, which is a big district game coming up.
True. I thought this past Friday night against East, I thought defensively we played much better than we did the week prior. Our district, late start compared to everybody else in 4A. We've only played 2 games thus far in the season. I thought the first game against Bowling, we were sluggish. It basically looked like a scrimmage to me. We made so many mistakes. We weren't fully in game shape yet. But we really pushed them hard last week in practice. Kids responded well. And I thought we went out and played much more aggressively on defense. Like I said, I thought on the defensive side of the ball, a great job holding them to 6 points last Friday night. Offensively, we just executed better. Our offense is about making sure complete your assignment, and I thought we did that as an entire squad better last Friday night. There were a couple of possessions I thought we could have come away with. We didn't. We got to get that cleaned up, get in the red zone. But overall, we were much better last week than the previous week. Said we're trying to do the same this week. We put in a good week this week. We got Sealy Tigers. We opened district this week with Sealy, which has always been a big rivalry here for Royal. So we're looking forward to that game. They're 2-2 into this game. Said they've got some weapons as always. They got a good running back. The back's a real threat as far as the run and the pass game. Defensively, Sealy's always sound. Coach Mobley and those guys do a great job over there. Said we feel like we got a good game plan. Just got to put it out there Friday night and see what happens.
Talking right now with Coach Greg Anderson of the Royal Falcons, getting ready for the big matchup with the Sealy Tigers on the road. And as you mentioned, a district game. This has been a unique year from start
where we are now. What have you learned about yourself as a coach during this pandemic?
You have to be able to adapt to just about anything. As a football coach, I've been doing this 27 years. As you come to the profession, there's a way that you're taught to do it, and you learn how to do it, and you present it to your younger coaches when you become a head coach. It's kind of the same every year. Your spring training, and then summer workouts, and your fall camp, different season. And this year was completely different. We got out in March, saw those kids again. We were kind of missed through the summer. We got started. We had to shut down. We got started. We got shut down. And then we got to August, and our district, like because we butt up Katy and Lamar consolidated, UIL pushed them back. Of our parents work in those areas, they felt like we should push back as well. We missed the first games of the season, along with all of August. So just being able to adapt on a day-to-day basis, knowing that the pandemic's out there, that any time anybody can come in contact with it, and just change your whole day routine on how we go about things in the weight room, how we go about things in the locker room, how we go about our kids' water during practice. Everything has completely changed from what we've done 27 years, and to be able to adapt to make it work, make sure these kids are safe. And so that's the biggest thing for me as a coach is got to be flexible. You take it one day at a time, see what comes at you, and adjust as best you can for what's in the best interest of the program.
It puts a whole new meaning on making halftime adjustments, doesn't it?
It is absolutely the truth. It's like every minute of the day is a halftime adjustment. Something new comes up that you've never been presented with before, and you've got to come up with a plan on how you're going to attack it. And that's it. It's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. But I tell you, our kids have done a good job with it. They come in, keep the mask on. We're inside the building. We spray everything down in the weight room. Yeah, it's even to the detail of how we go and get water when we take a water break in practice. Everything's completely different, but our kids are adjusting, and they're going about what they're supposed to do and still get their work in, and they can show up every day with a good attitude. And so, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're finally getting to football, and I guess with that in mind, go about making changes because ultimately that's what you want to get to is Friday night and being able to go out there and turn the lights on.
Absolutely. Now, even before the pandemic, your district was one of the unique districts where it took a couple of wins that you would qualify for playoffs. How does the playoff picture look now that you guys get a delayed start? Is it going to pretty much remain the same, or will there be some adjustments? I know I don't want to get too premature. We always thinking big picture, right?
Exactly. That's the ultimate goal, of course, is to find your way to week 11 and week 12 and play some playoff games. But for us, we're really in catch-up mode because all the other schools in our district got started on time in August. And they got fall camp, went through 2 weeks of practice, and got to the first scrimmage and then their first game. We didn't get any of that. Like I said, we didn't start practice September 2nd. Like I said, I thought it really showed up in the bowling game because we weren't able to have a scrimmage. We limit full contact in practice as much as we can, for multiple reasons. So that first game, we didn't tackle well. Like I said, I thought we needed to be in better shape. We're playing in catch-up mode right now. But like I said, I thought our kids responded well last week, hard as far as conditioning goes after practice each day, and they pushed through it. I thought it helped us last Friday. There's negative and positive about getting a late start. One thing that's a positive for us is we're a little bit healthier than everybody else. We didn't go through those 4 non-district games where we got beat up. So we're a little bit healthier than what some of these teams that have been out there grinding and battling for 4 weeks, these bumps and bruises and things that pop up throughout the season. From that standpoint, it is a positive.
Sir, now during this off season, this extended off season, did you go back and maybe try to redefine how your schemes were actually lined up? Did you stick the schemes that you had? And if I'm not mistaken, you guys run a spread offense and a 4-2-5 defense. You stuck with that game plan and attack, or did you fine tune and tweak some things?
Sure, you look at your personnel and what you have available, and you always fine tune and tweak a little bit. We still run a 4-2-5 on defense as far as how we manipulate that throughout the game. It's a bit different. Last year, we blitzed quite a bit more. This year, I feel like we're a little bit better missions, and so we can just play more of a base defense and get to the football. And not to say that we won't blitz. But like I said, that part of it's changed a little bit for us. Offensively, uh, we got backs that are doing a really good job for us. So we're a little more run-oriented this year, but that's not to say that we won't throw it. But that's just kind of fits our personnel. And so, for the most part, the formations, the play names, and everything like that's the same. But, as what you see on the field may look slightly different than what you would have saw last fall because of the personnel more so than changing the offense or defense.
Well, once again, talking about those adjustments, and you got to make them if you want to stay relative in the game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, the Sealy Tigers will be the next opponent for the Royal Falcons, and, of course, you can get the results and updates right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Keep those calls coming in, man. Keep those kids safe and keep getting the wins any way you can. And by all means, you take care of yourself and take care of those. We can call them baby Falcons, huh? We can call them young Falcons. We call them young Falcons, huh?
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
any last words or comments before we shut this segment down?
Just, again, I hope everybody comes out. Royal and Sealy's always been a big rivalry game. We're so close together, and I hope everybody in Brookshire comes out and supports us this Friday night, and hopefully we'll come away with a big win.
All right. The Falcons and the Tigers will get it on from Sealy, Texas. 7:30 is their kickoff time, right, Coach?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay, man, I get confused. 7 o'clock is the game. That's right. You guys are 4A now, so considered the big boys. In the 4A range, they go 7 o'clock kickoffs.
They moved all of our district games to 7 p.m. this year, so that's what we'll do for the remainder of the season.
Okay, very good. Well, once again, don't forget to keep in contact, Coach, on the message line, 713-570-6736. And keep tuned right here with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our Twitter handle is The Mike Prince Show, website OBN Radio, and, of course, the YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining in with us on Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. And until the next time, you guys be blessed. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and we'll see you on the other side.
This is Rob Butler with your Southland report. The Southland Conference went 2-2 this weekend, and here's what happened. Bailey Zappi threw for 3 touchdowns. Houston Baptist blocked a late PAT for a 2-point conversion, and the Huskies completed their 4-game season with a 33-30 win over Eastern Kentucky on Saturday. Trey Self threw 2 touchdown passes, and Stephen F. Austin won its home opener, beating Division II West Texas A&M 34-6 on Saturday to improve to 1-3 on the year. The Lumberjacks will host Division II Angelo State this Saturday in Nacogdoches. Peyton Mansell threw 3 touchdown passes for Abilene Christian, but it wasn't enough Saturday. The Black Knights blasted Abilene Christian 55-23 on Saturday in West Point, New York. Abilene Christian is now 0-2 this season. They host West Texas A&M in a couple of weeks. Quarterback Braylon Smith threw for 3 touchdowns to lead Central Arkansas, but it was not enough. North Dakota State rallied to a 39-28 victory behind their star quarterback Trey Lance. Lance hurt the Bears with his legs as he ran for 143 yards on 15 carries. Central Arkansas plays at Arkansas State this week. Now, we only have 2 games on tap this weekend. Angelo State at SFA is one of them. Angelo State returns most of its starters from last season when they went 8-3. Wide receiver Larry Johnson returns from injury and provides speed to a good receiving core, which includes wide receiver Kiki Chisholm. We know what SFA can do behind quarterback Trey Self and wide receiver Xavier Gibson. The Lumberjacks win this one in a nail-biter, 21-20 over Angelo State. And Central Arkansas plays at Arkansas State this weekend. The Red Wolves are 1-2 on the season, having lost to Memphis in the opener and Coastal Carolina on Saturday. Now, Arkansas State did upset Kansas State earlier this season. Central Arkansas is led by quarterback Braylon Smith and wide receiver LaJuan Winningham. They're 2-2 on the year, and they'll be 2-3 after their matchup with Arkansas State. The Red Wolves win this game 45-24 over Central Arkansas. And that's Rob Butler, Open Mic Broadcast Network.
I'd like to take this time to recognize our sponsors and supporters at the Open Mic Broadcast Network: Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View Athletic Club, Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Diva Skin Conditioner, Helping Hands Lawn Service. Thank you for your support of our local and regional coverage of student athletics here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back to Football Friday here on the Mike Prince Show and the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Remind you of our Twitter handle is at the Mike Prince Show. And although it is Football Friday, I do need to make a basketball mention. Congratulations to the Panthers and their newest member to assist on the women's basketball program, Coach Courtney Pruitt. Former coach of the Alcorn Braves women's basketball team, will be joining Coach Sandy Pugh to continue to move the Panthers forward on this 2021 basketball season. The programming note we'll hear exclusively from Coach Sandy Pugh on Monday. If the Lord says the same and the creek don't rise. Talking about the adjustments made, the future games, and just life in general since this pandemic. There's always plenty to talk about in the world of athletics. Some you can believe, some you can't believe, and others you just take a double look. In regards, I'm speaking on the state of Florida. Florida is opening up to full capacity, starting with the Miami Dolphins this weekend. I laugh at that simply because of this. Not many people were coming to the Dolphins games before the pandemic. So I guess if you open it up to full capacity, it would still be the same as social spreading. But on a more serious note, I don't think I need to underline what that's all about. And since I don't need to underline what that's all about, I'll move on. The Southland Conference fall edition of football has come to a conclusion. 4 teams competed in fall activities: Abilene Christian, Central Arkansas, Houston Baptist, and Stephen F. Austin. Although Houston Baptist went 1-3, it was an exciting 1-3. Were competitive in a few of the games, or a couple of the games, I should say, and they were able to stash a little coin. Stephen F. Austin, who would be considered, I guess, the rebels of the Southland Conference, went 1-3 as well. Interesting to see how things will continue to work out in spring football. We made mention about spring football on yesterday's episode, and some of you have responded and said, no, do not do it, do not bank on it, because it could interfere with potential draft choices for the NFL. And duly noted. But it was just something to think about. I don't think it would ever transition to that point, but there have been some people, in particular that of the HBCU media circuit, that really think there should be a hard examination of potentially considering spring football. Don't forget that you can check in with us throughout the course of the day for breaking news in the world of athletics by keeping up with us on our Twitter handle at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Get insight, videos, and content coverage that you don't normally get otherwise. As we make our way towards stage left, I want to remind you guys about the Carlos Brown Show, which is featured here at the network on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Standard Time. Miss Sonia Stamps with She Say Sports is featured here on Fridays. We have Mr. Rob Butler, B.J. Jones, and a plethora of other reporters and contributors to help us keep content flowing here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Join us live on Sundays, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Got a special guest lined up for you this coming Sunday. And we might as well let the cat out of the bag. Guess we've kept you in suspense long enough. Scheduled to be with us will be newly appointed offensive coordinator for the FAMU Rattlers, Mr. KJ Black. He is scheduled to be with us this coming Sunday, beginning at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. My time is up for right now. It is much far spent, and therefore, I shall fade into the sunset. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us throughout the course of the week, reminding you that we've been serving the community since 2002 right here at the old network and cannot get it done without your continued support. Visit our website today at obnradio.com. Become a listening partner today. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. And until the next time, you guys be blessed. We'll see you on the other side.